Ah, just had a delightful conversation with Amazon's customer service. It's nice when these big companies are sometimes a bit inaccessible. But yeah, I'd ordered a £300 product a few weeks ago, and it took the tracking went a bit weird. It was like, oh, your item's going to be late, then it's item's going to be lost, and I needed this thing, so I ordered it elsewhere and saw it for a better price, and then on the same day, like they both arrived, and I was like, oh no. So I've had this item here, and it's sold from at one of the Amazon sellers, which is another business model I've explored in the past, but I don't know, it's highly competitive. I don't think I'm going to cover much of like the drop shipping and the selling stuff. We will be covering it. Excuse me. Like white label drop shipping for clothing's great, because you can just send your order and it's sent out, picked and packed and printed and shipped. I mean, it's a good business model, but I think you've got to have a good niche product. You can't be selling stuff that's cheap. It's got to be kind of the more luxurious items. I did have a drop shipping store in the past doing sideboards, like sideboard furniture, but I ended up selling my share of it because it just didn't really go anywhere. But fun experience, all good learning. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. So I needed to return this item, and the seller just was not responding. They'd sent a postage label. I'm not paying for postage. It's been like 10 days. So I ended up just going to customer service because I just had enough. My red list on the LifeMaster, it's never been, just the admin has just piled up, and this was at the top. It's just been hanging over me. And that's the great thing with the LifeMaster system. It's a live feed for not only all of your calendar items and meetings and things you got to do, but I've got everything channeled through there down to my health things, the food orders, and any of these administration, financial jobs, bills that need to be paid, bills that are overhanging, refunds that are due, refunds that I need to double check that they actually send the money back. It's all there in the feed. It's all there. One life feed. So you are always on top of everything in your life. The idea with LifeMaster is to sort and deal and come to terms with everything in your past, organize the present, and so it's efficient and it's always managed and you're never missing anything, to free up all this capacity so you can spend most of your time planning, thinking, and moving, working towards your ideal future. Otherwise, you're just stuck in the past and the present quagmire of stuff, which I've felt a lot recently. The list, for the first time in my life, the red, they go red when they're overdue, and they're all at the top, how I have it arranged. Seems to make sense. It's a chronological list, isn't it? Date and time order. That list has taken up the whole screen on my computer, on the Mac, on a 15-inch Mac. So not a good position to be in when you're like, oh yeah, how's life going? Red, 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 red. But anyway, a lot of them are small jobs, and I'm getting through it. This was the one thing that was just really annoying me. But the customer service was just like, no, we can see this is you've been communicating. This is terrible. So we'll apply for your refund and do it all on your behalf. And they said, oh, we're giving you the refund. It'll be there 5 to 7 business days. I was like, well, what else do I need to do? And they're like, absolutely nothing. So looks like I've got a £300 product I can sell on eBay, brand new boxed, for free. Happy days. So yeah, I had lots of ideas of what to talk about today. I was reminiscing a little bit about, basically there was this guy that faked his death in Bali, and I was asked to go on a documentary about it because I nearly invested in the company. I was going to do some work for it because I was on the lookout at that time. It was after I'd been in Bali for a little while, and I was building my like business consulting, doing websites, marketing for people kind of business, so I could stay there. And that I did. That I did, and then that's when I got into the outsourcing stuff because I got really busy, and the guy that was helping me left at the peak, and then I was like, well, I know, I've read about all this outsourcing stuff. Let's find an expert in each one of these things, and that I did. So I was always on the lookout for people, and just the nature of Bali. You're out for every meal, so people bring along friends. You meet this. I met this person, and he turned out to be a con artist. He conned millions out of people, but he was so smart and intelligent and like very charming, endearing. And I was nearly hoodwinked. I think a lot of other people were. Yeah, and he ended up faking his death. A friend, I was just reminiscing about past business a bit because a friend sent me the documentary, and I watched the documentary, and it got me thinking about Bali and what we were doing there and stuff. And I had I wanted to stay away from this because I had Nonco Limited, the company name, registered well before the non-co people, and they're crypto, and I have a bit of a history with crypto. I got into it pretty early on compared to most. 2015, And then this was the thing, because I was always on the lookout and I was doing like the non-conformity, we've got this net worth spreadsheet. I was always recording that every month and I was always on the lookout and testing new businesses and looking out for things. And yeah, just crypto really then caught my eye and got into that. And that was really good. And ended up doing a crypto business, which was semi-successful. I learned a lot about teams, and we had a bit of a too big a team. It was lockdown and we were kind of spread apart, but the feedback that we got was fantastic. Like, it's still live now. You could link to it maybe. I had a look the other day, but yeah, we had like pretty much like all 5-star feedback. Now I think most of that feedback was just for we used to do really good quality education, and give all the way of that for free, and then we used to charge for like certain price movements and things like that. And I think half the people were successful, half the people weren't with that. It's quite hard to do because there's millions and billions of combinations of what you can do with all this stuff. But yeah, I've had a wild ride with crypto. I've got lots of stories to share with that. Bitcoin arbitrage, when the price of Bitcoin was 20% higher in Indonesia and was circulating money around, and just wild times. Like, yeah, I could write books on this, really. There's some really interesting stories. But I made a load and lost a load, and learned a lot along the way. So I want to, again, I've got all this experience now. I think you have to go and make some and lose some to really, and do a lot of research learning, and to be able to then channel that into something. And we had some good education there, and all these reviews, I think people were just glad to find something. It spread a lot because yeah, we knew people in different countries, and then they shared it, and we built up a nice little community, and it was good. Everybody was like pretty much was really happy just to find something that was current and going on. They didn't know about it, but they wanted to get into it, and we provided the education for them to get into it. And people, the feedback, it's just, yeah, it was really quite mind-blowing to read it back the other day. So that, taking from that, that's why a lot of the non-conformity company, I'm just trying to get you into lots of different things, and that's a business model, whether that be education, business model, information, challenge, getting people into different things in a nice way. Provides all sorts of options. So we provided this education, really good education, for free. People loved it, and then some people went on and subscribed to the monthly product. So yeah, with current crypto activities and world happenings, yeah, I'm going to start talking about this as well, because it's linked with the finances. I think the game plan. This is the game plan. Most people are going to be in a position where, they're in that job. Weather's wild today. It's just blinded me. Well, at the 4 a.m. club, we're talking about most people out there that we're trying to help are going to be, you probably might have found this because you might be in this position where you kind of work in a job where it's not that great. The money that you're earning is going out. There's not much wiggle room. There's not anywhere to go. So the 4 a.m. club is a great program, a great direction to change the trajectory of your life. If you do that for a year, you're going to have several businesses, going for it by then. 3 hours every day for a year, your life's going to be radically transformed forever. And so they're the kind of people we're going for. The idea is then, so first of all, it's identifying, yeah, I'm not so happy, I need to make some changes, let's join the 4 a.m. club or something like that, just to get some businesses going, some real businesses that link with my passions, purpose, to help other people, start bringing in some more money. Work out what your minimum viable income is. So that's just the minimum amount you need to cover yourself. Okay, you need to tidy up your expenses and maximize the new income, and get to this minimum viable income, 2 grand, 3 grand, whatever it is, however much money you need to pay your bills and to eat and just to survive. Okay, you work hard with the 4 a.m. club, still running your current job, to build up enough money coming in to be around your minimum viable income, and then job, see you later. Then you've got all this time. You can then still continue to wake up at 4 a.m. or you can be like, oh no, I want to sleep in a bit more now. Continue building those businesses, and then reach your next milestone of a real nice, comfortable income. So you've got spare money coming in, so you can live a life a bit more free, a bit more luxurious, however you want to do it. But then what you want to be doing is building again, and building it so you've got money to start putting it into investments, and then you automate this. So if you've got £1,000 spare a month, what you want to do is split that into like 10 pots, say 5 to 10 pots, and automatically transfer that into different investments. That could be the index funds, could be gold and silver coins. It's a little bit hard to do it small with things like property and stuff like that. But what you can do is you can be buying physical gold and silver. You can be buying pieces of the index market like the FTSE 250 or 100, the Dow Jones. That's just a share of all of the top 100 or 250 companies in a lot of the markets around the world. And you can do that with a lot of good tools now very, very easily. So gold and silver, but crypto is one of these asset classes. So you can allocate 10, 20% of your investment money into crypto, and then within that have different percentages. So it might be 20% of that 1,000 goes into crypto. So £200. Of that £200, you put like 50% into Bitcoin, 10% into Ethereum, 10% into Ripple, 10% into blah, 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 and have it automated. So as soon as that money comes in, and I've got a spreadsheet tool for this, so you can be like, oh, I've got £1,500. Then it will tell you exactly, pull in the prices, and it tells you exactly what coins to go and buy based on your already decided allocation program. So the non-conformity finance is one of those 5 categories for LifeMaster, finance being one of them, the others being evolution, people, work, and health. But within that finances, if you know about crypto and know how to buy it, that's fine. But we'll have a stepping stone of how to get into it, to go into more detail, and everything else, and all the tools and the education and the resources that you need. So you can be in control of your own money, so you can make your own decisions. And yeah, once you start to then just put I know now all of the mistakes that I made. I'm going to channel this into it here. You want to be in control of your money. Never give your money to anybody else. And you need a structured plan that can grow with this, and something to record each month what's going on, and also a tool to be able to look at it and just have a snapshot view of where your investments are at. So if you do need to move money around, you can do that easily, thus automating skimming profits off the top, which is a very good practice to do. Just to keep things balanced and moving, and to be capitalizing on things that have moved up and rebalancing as you go, because then that also automates rebuying assets that you own that have come down to a lower price, so you're continually stocking up on those. But then do that for a couple of years, you're going to start growing these. You can't guarantee that they will have all grown, but the idea is over time most of these things go up. Index funds, if you just whacked all your money into index funds, you make 10-11% a year. So that compounded over 10 years, you're going to be tripling your money. I can't remember the exact sums, but compound interest, very good thing to do, which we will go into. We've got some compound interest calculators, but yeah, just excited to now I've got hindsight and looking back on this financial experience and my mistakes. Again, I'm qualified to be able to help people with this, not only with the education and what to do, but with some tools, some spreadsheets, and just the best ways to go about it now. Best ways how to get into it, best ways how to build it and manage it, the best ways to move things around and make it work for you. All right.